In this video, we will explore how developers can use the FlexDeploy UI to compare Salesforce orgs with a linked Git repository and sync the differences into the repository. We will also explore the FlexDeploy browser extension, which allows developers and business users to sync changes to Git without ever leaving their development org. With either approach, FlexDeploy will help manage your Salesforce changes and keep a version history of change in Git. Developers and business users will follow the same streamlined process for deploying code without the intervention of technical support. All code changes are source controlled together and can be reviewed or reverted as needed, and we don't need to train our business users on the intricacies of Git. First, let's look at how FlexDeploy can compare Salesforce orgs and Git repositories. This screen is designed to allow flexible comparison. I can filter at a number of levels and find differences between my Git repo and my Salesforce org. I checked for changes, and I found one. FlexDeploy shows the source changes between the org and the Git repository and allows me to commit my metadata changes from the Salesforce org into Git. FlexDeploy can also add the files that are modified into a package and prepare the changes for deployment to higher environments. Another way of managing changes between Salesforce and Git is the FlexDeploy browser extension. In this approach, users won't even log into FlexDeploy. They simply perform the necessary changes and notify FlexDeploy when they are ready to be committed and sent to the pipeline using the browser extension. FlexDeploy facilitates the entire process, from code change to production deployment. Here, I'm logged into my Salesforce development environment, where I'll perform a profile update. Next, I'll utilize the browser extension to commit the profile change to the Git repository and start the code deployment process via FlexDeploy. The form is pre-filled for me. I simply need to choose a FlexDeploy package name based on the incident that I'm working on and a commit message for the change. These values will be sent to the FlexDeploy server that I configured. The call will be made from my local browser, so the FlexDeploy server doesn't need to be open to the internet. Users would need to connect to the VPN if they aren't on the company network. This was just a click or two for me, but behind the scenes, FlexDeploy did a lot of work. Let's navigate to my FlexDeploy server and look at the results of our automation. Clicking the button triggered an incoming webhook. This means that a REST call was received by FlexDeploy. Here we can see that the package I requested was created. It contains the profile we modified. That REST call told FlexDeploy to find the file that I modified and check it against what's in the Git repository. Because the file contents didn't match, the file was committed to the repository as a new version. Finally, the package was built, creating an artifact with this version of the profile. Now this artifact is ready to deploy to other environments, whether on demand or using a release pipeline. In this video, we learned how the FlexDeploy UI and the FlexDeploy browser extension enable all Salesforce users a clean and familiar way to commit their metadata changes into source control and deploy them to higher environments. We saw how the potentially difficult and foreign process of Git branching is masked from business users, but the benefits of Git source control are still realized. We discovered how business users can migrate profile changes through the environments without ever leaving the comfort of the Salesforce interface. Upgrade to a complete CI/CD solution today and take full advantage of source control in your Salesforce development process. Thanks for watching.